What are the major theories of behavioral and situational leadership?
The concept of leadership behavior started to be developed before World War II and is still popular because those theories consider the opportunity for leaders to be trained according to special types of programs. The best-known classical theory of behavioral leadership is Douglas McGregor's Theory X Theory Y concept of management. McGregor distinguished between those managers who consider people to be lazy and unwilling to work or take responsibility and who use punishment and fear to make them do what they have to, Theory X, and those managers who consider people to naturally be committed to labor if given a correct environment where people are capable of self-education and have the ability to use results-oriented reward systems to make them more committed, Theory Y. McGregor's theory reached its purpose of making managers look critically at the style by which they manage people. In McGregor's description, Theory X managers were described as being clearly evil and creating the wrong atmosphere for people to be able to work most efficiently. In modern management science and practice, Theory Y managers' approach to managing people is viewed as the best one for most types of jobs, even those that do not necessarily seem to be creative. This was definitely not the case 50 years ago. Needless to say, in a project environment we always strongly recommend Theory Y managers as being the most appropriate for helping people take ownership and increasing involvement and motivation of the project team. Of course, these things are normally viewed as one of the key factors of project success. However, because of its strong ideological orientation, McGregor's approach is too primitive to be sufficient to describe complex situations managers often get into, especially in projects. Tell me more. The concept that is considered to be more applicable to management situations is the so-called Likkert's leadership styles theory, which shows 4 styles of leadership behavior: exploitation authoritative, favorable authoritative, consultant democratic, and democratic. Other theories of leadership behavior basically develop a complicated McGregor's model in order to get it closer to actual situations occurring in groups doing certain types of work. They are normally shown as certain types of matrices describing 4 to 9 types of leaders' behavior. The following theories have been quite popular at certain times. Leaders' behavior is based on the degree of work coordination and the degree of attention to subordinates. Leaders' behavior is based on the degree of interest in production and the degree of interest in people. Theories of situational leadership have allowed further complexity in the process of leadership model development. The major idea of situational leadership is that management behavior has to be different depending on the situation. Thus, another variable is added to the equation models, characterizing the situation where leadership styles are shown. Recognizing the huge amount of management materials on situational leadership that have been written in the last 50 years, we will discuss 2 theories that, from our perspective, give the overall idea of this approach and also have more relevance to a project environment. Fred Fiedler's model of situational leadership was developed in the 1960s. The model allows us to predict the efficiency of the work of the group headed by the leader. As in the other models of situational leadership, this one looks at a number of different leadership situations developed by the combination of the leader's characteristics and situational characteristics. The model uses 3 situational variables: relations between the leader and the members of the group, leader-member relations, the structure of task or the degree of work coordination, task structure, and the official authority, ability to reward and punish. In order to be able to measure the leadership style, Fiedler suggested using a scale of characteristics of the least preferred coworker, LPC. Following the suggested scale, shown in Figure 6.1, the leaders are to describe the most ideal employee and the least preferred coworker they can work with. Finally, the overall number of scores gained by the leader shows him being oriented toward one of the 2 styles: relations-oriented, high LPC, or task-oriented, low LPC. The combination of 3 situational variables and 2 leadership styles gives 8 major types of situations describing Fiedler's model. See Figure 6.2. Figure 6.1, Fiedler's characteristics scale for the least preferred coworker. The leaders with low-scoring LPC are more work-oriented and can be more efficient in very favorable situations where they can afford to spend more time developing relations with employees instead of interfering with their work, or in very unfavorable situations where they just dictate what the employees do. In a project environment, that corresponds to 2 types of projects: the very typical project with very low uncertainty, lots of flexibility and reserves, and with team members with lots of experience in implementing projects of this type, or the project that gets into crisis conditions in which the project manager is expected to temporarily break the major rules of HR management and move on to a dictating and authoritative style.